All right. A wonderful day to be creating and sharing this information with y'all. Now, if you guys read the description pretty much says it all, but I'm going to go over it with y'all, okay? Just so I can clarify and we can have some, you can reinforce that spine, all right? You can reinforce that spirit, all right? While I light up this beautiful Swisher cigar. No, they don't sponsor me, but man, Swisher Diamonds taste amazing. Like I've told to other people, the secret to this medicine, don't inhale. Enjoy the aroma. Play with the taste in your mouth. Play with the smoke going in through the nose. Maybe a slight inhale through the nose, but none of that. Don't do that. Don't do that because then you do that. Now it starts to taste a little weird, and that's more my personal experience. That's a little more dangerous. So, anyways, let's talk about the patents. What they are not. Many people and Gary V. Shout out to him because he made. I saw a little short he made when he was sitting with his dad at a bar.
I got new books. I'm so happy.
Ooh. When he was sitting with his dad at a bar and he was talking about an idea and the email is the future. Oh, you're good, Nani. You know what I'm talking about though. Because other people are listening to this too. Why not? The idea that patents create a monopoly. Some people are afraid to share certain things because they're like, someone's going to steal my idea. And it's like,
Absolutely.
if you, yeah, that's true on occasion, but no one can really take anything that you make anyways. They're always going to have your style. And people have similar inspirations, but there are laws on an international scale and a national scale that protect those monopolies. All right, because a patent is just there to regulate commerce. You know what I'm saying? But given the nature of commerce and given the laws that anyone is allowed to do commerce with whomever or whomever they want or don't want to, a patent doesn't stop people from actually creating something. Because what I've noticed is that, and what many people have noticed is that sometimes when you put something, data centers, they have a way of collecting this information, and it's no surprise that if you put a certain amount of data into these computers and devices, that suddenly you see other companies who run technology are building upon these ideas that other people are sharing online, and then they want to claim intellectual property. You get, but see, the nature of intellectual property, because it has a limit, is because there is a limit to trying to monopolize or claim something that maybe someone else is also inspired to do, and try to build up it upon it as if it was your own, as if you're the only person, like all hail just this person who created it. No, no. That's why people open source a lot of their ideas too. They share it because they're thinking on a grander scale. The ones who are thinking of commercial and profit, they're small-minded.
Simple-minded.
Simple. I like that word. They're simple-minded. Simpletons. Simpletons.
Simpletons.
They are simple tons. Yeah. So that's the truth with patents. So we're going to read here a little bit what I have shared with you guys. All right. Patents are not true monopolies. Many people assume that a patent gives someone total control over an idea. That's a misunderstanding. A patent only protects the exact claims written in document for a limited period. Period. Oh, hold on. Let me open the door here. All right, so patents only create protects the exact claims. Okay, notice the words the exact claims. Okay, written in the document for a limited period, usually 20 years for utility patents. Okay, it does not cover general inspiration, concepts, or independently developed versions. If someone creates something similar without copying those claims, they are not infringing. Patents are fundamentally commerce tools, not a cage of human creativity. Patents only apply in the commercial realm. Patents regulate actions like making, selling, offering to sell, importing, or profiting from an invention. Okay? If you're experimenting, learning, or creating for personal, or in this case, you're making for personal or educational use, you are outside the reach of patent law. This is why patents cannot and do not stop independent invention or lawful experimentation. The law is about market regulation, not stopping imagination. Okay. Now we're going to break this down a little more. Okay. Notice when it says selling, offering to sell. Now, some people are like, well, what if I want to sell it to somebody? Okay. Well, we'll get into that because then you have 15 USC 1, okay, which talks about everyone's right to do commerce with whomever they want or whoever they don't want, okay, meaning that your right to sell is protected. All right, but what this patent specifically does is that whatever is in that claim, if anyone copies that exact claim and then says and then tries to build off on it, okay, you might have a challenge there, right? And then you may have to prove that you were the one who put that together. And do companies find ways to put all that stuff in their wording as well, in their company objectives, in their purposes, their missions? Yeah, they do. But does that necessarily stop people, anyways? No. All right. See, everyone's privacy and everyone's public workings and private workings are protected. And you have to enforce that. And you enforce it by knowing these laws, knowing yourself. Okay. For example, I'll give you a very simple example. 15 USC talks about trust, right? Antitrust. Okay. So when someone, for example, makes, let's say on the recent one, an electronic tattoo, okay, and they have a purpose for it that seems similar, and it's under their own trust, but it's got their own use and they have their own people in their own community. Well, guess what? Your own community, this is why building your relationships with these people who support you is very important, right? Whereas other big tech companies, all they're looking to do is how much they can sell and market to people, but they don't really have a personal relationship with these people, okay? Only some, they have personal relationships. You can only have so many personal relationships with some people, okay? So if you have a personal relationship with certain people and you're sharing your idea and your version of an electronic tattoo, you are protected under law, okay? And why not go ahead, read the patent so you make sure you can define yours differently, not just through wording, but also through purpose and also through trust and trust law. Why not go ahead and read that? Number 3, open source and the greater vision. The limitation is also why many innovators choose to open source their work. Let's take the Iron Man builder, for example. Alex something. I forget. But the guy who's building the Iron Man suit and teaching people how to do it through electrolysis. Okay? He's open sourcing that, and other people are open sourcing their things. Why? Because we're thinking of things, people like that who open source, we're thinking on a greater scale. We're thinking on a scale that's about fun, joy, abundance, self-sustainability, part of the mega project as well. So feel free to email and join the mega project. Okay. Let me put that email in here as well. It'll be on the bottom. Join the mega project. Ew. Okay. So yeah, that's why people open source, because they have a greater vision. Okay. Open source thinkers open source thinkers prioritize collective innovation and knowledge sharing over narrow commercial gain. And like I've discussed, and we have discussed in our previous videos, understanding that all money is credit, everyone has an infinite source of credit. I call it an ICU. People who look at how much profit they can make, they really are simpleton. Okay. Let me see, in that movie Downton Abbey, uh The sister tells the brother, "Oh, my brother went from revolutionary to capitalist." He says sensible. Well, in the real world, sensible is unity, collective efforts, self-sustainability, abundance, working with nature, harmony with nature, realizing also the animals are our friends, not food. All right, so that's sensible. Okay, that's a sensible person. Okay, now chasing only profit can be a delusion because every human already has natural protected freedoms to create, share, and conduct commerce freely with whoever they choose. True innovation grows when knowledge spreads, for not when it is hoarded. Not when it is hoarded. Number four, legal recognition of natural persons. Under U.S. law, humans are recognized first as persons. 15 U.S.C. 12A states the word person or persons, wherever used in this act, shall be deemed to include corporations and associations existing under or authorized by the laws, listen closely, of either the United States, which is a business, the laws of any of the territories, the laws of any state, or the laws of any foreign country. Okay. And given the broader definition of 15 USC 1, okay, we can connect the dots and realize that foreign country could also mean foreign entity or an entity that is not in business with the US. But the cool thing about being in business with the US, all of you who have your social securities and your estates tied to it with a birth certificate, cool thing is the US also honors these things, okay, in its own way. But because there's so much flexibility, like I've mentioned before, we have plenty of people who get into the system and they try to tinker with the words and play around and try to monopolize on things. That's why you must be wise and have lawful awareness. Okay? So you can fortify that absolute truth, that divine truth that life is abundant. No one can steal anything from you. Even if someone has an idea that's similar or is inspired similarly, doesn't mean that you have to stop. Otherwise, we wouldn't see all these different businesses doing similar things. That's the blunt truth. Okay. So notice it does not exclude natural persons, meaning living humans have full rights. When you go read it, it doesn't say exclude. Lots of different laws say excluding, but this doesn't say exclude. Okay. And even if it were to say exclude, trust me, the international and the state laws, the international laws, the global, national, and international laws still protect your freedom, our freedom. Essentially, we are protecting ourselves, okay? Because it is people. All right. Now, antitrust and monopoly laws. Antitrust laws like the Sherman Act, 15 U.S.C. 1, and the Clayton Act exist to prevent the abuse of power. Even if someone holds patents, they cannot legally use them to shut down all competition or dominate a market unfairly. See? The system is designed to protect both commerce and human innovation. Number six, law versus lawful reality, or in this case, legal versus law versus lawful reality. Let me put that down. Legal versus law versus lawful reality, lawful divine reality. Patents are legal instruments in the marketplace. They temporarily protect narrow inventions to encourage disclosure, reward innovation, and regulate commerce, but they cannot override natural rights. The freedom to be inspired, to experiment, and to create remains absolute. Inspiration is free, knowledge is free, commerce is regulated, imagination is not. And even commerce being regulated, laws have already clearly stated that anyone can do commerce. Communities can choose to commerce within themselves. Okay? That's why many times we tell some of workers, let's say you're going to go get some food and a worker wants to be serving with a lacking hand, we say, yo, are you not part of the community? We look out for each other. Okay? trust me, the business ain't going to lose anything, and neither will the person. Be diligent, y'all. And now, 7, the bottom line. Patents equals commercial tools for specific claims. Creativity and invention is natural human freedom. Open source is the vision beyond profit, sharing innovation with the world. Antitrust law stops abuse, protects competition, applies to natural persons too. In short, patents regulate trade, not thought. Inspiration belongs to everyone. Commerce is what's regulated, and open sharing of ideas is how humanity truly advances. Sometimes we don't want to share our ideas because many people think, oh, someone's going to steal it or they're going to leave me out. Nah, no one's going to leave you out. You have the same power, you have the same tools and resources available to you. You have to know that. You have to grind that into your psyche, grind that into your spirit, or engrave. No, you have to hone. I'm looking for a good word. You have to merge that into your spirit. Okay. And with that being said, that's all I have for now. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you soon. If you like this video, feel free to comment. Okay, share, join the mega project. Namaste.